What's up, everybody? I'm here with another book haul video, and it feels like it's been a while since I've done one of these. According to my YouTube videos, I actually looked through and I didn't see where I'd done one of these in about a year, so that's probably about right. So I've actually been buying books, not crazily. I haven't been buying like a lot, but over the past couple of months and maybe even a little bit of last year, I've been picking up stuff here and there. Some of this stuff is a mixture of from Second Charles trips, to some stuff I got off thrift books, and I got another little stack that I want to show off from what I got when I went on vacation. And yeah, it's pretty insane, pretty fun story. So let's kind of jump into it. The first book I have here is one that I actually found at a Second and Charles. I actually do have a copy of this book, but it is not this edition. This is a first edition, first printing of Pirates Don't Wear Pink Sunglasses. Paid $1.50 for this. Pretty cool. You don't see them like this much anymore. I want to say I have another one of these that doesn't have the border on it, but I don't remember what book it is. But yeah, I picked up that. Yeah, haven't read it or anything like that. The next book I got, actually bought I actually did something very bad. My fiance actually had two books and actually spilt some water on one of them. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm very, very protective of her books, so I felt absolutely terrible. So I bought her the two copies of the books that she needed. Luckily, they weren't rare or anything like that. I did buy the two copies. I think I spilt water on one, but I bought another one. But anyway, I think I actually got a free book with that, if I remember right. And I bought, something for myself too, because why not? But I bought Christopher Pike's Road to Nowhere. Again, haven't read this, but the cover looked very cool. Um, I'm gonna try to lay off on Christopher Pike because you'll see his name pop up a few times in this. So I'm gonna try to read some of these. This one I do know that I showed off on Instagram, but this one I know for a fact was a free book. I think, but it didn't look like much. But I'm pretty sure I got this for free. If not, I'm wrong. I did post this on Instagram, but I got another book from Christopher Pike called The Listeners, and I saw this, floating around, and it looked pretty simple. Well, it's actually got some amazing step back cover art that I did not know about. Pretty cool. I've seen people post this thing, and I think that there's somebody that I followed that posted this and said that they didn't know that it had a step back cover art. The book is not in the best condition, but yeah, this is one of R.L. Stine's not R.L. Stine, Christopher Pike's adult novels, I believe. So pretty interesting to see how his adult novels are, because his young adult novels are basically adult novels in my opinion, but because they have some of the craziest stuff. So yeah, I did buy another Fright Time book, despite the fact that I have not read any of these. um I bought number 16. I don't think this might be the last one in the series. I can't remember if there's 18 or 16 or 17. I bought this was under my wish list and it popped up. Again, not in the best condition, but this one I think is pretty rare, so I went and got it. I know that Sean Stevenson posted something about this. There is a story in here that's from an author that he likes. I can't remember exactly who. Maybe it was the one of the Christian Goosebump knockoff series things that he did some rankings and stuff on. I can't remember. It's slipping from my mind right now, but yeah. So yeah, I really need to start reading these Fright Time books and just seeing what they're about, because I've not read the first one and I had these since I was a kid, the series. So at another Second and Charles, I was walking around and I saw these books on Cameron Chaney's channel, and I know he had a bunch of these. These are not. It was like one of those videos where it's like, if you like Goosebumps, check these books out. And I saw this. It was setting in like where the Goosebumps and stuff were at, I believe, or where the children's books were at. But this is not a children's book from what I can tell. This is a book called Sharp Candy, or a series called Sharp Candy, Janie's Night. So it is very reminiscent of The Haunted Mask 2. And yeah, I did flip through this, and it seemed very cool. This also came with a bookmark that was inside it, so pretty cool. There are some other books in the series called Eight Spooky Yarns. Is that what that says? And more spooky something. And I cannot read that. Might need glasses. But yeah, pretty cool. I do look forward to reading this for Halloween. This is the only book I got in that series, so So earlier when I was recording this video, I was doing the Pirates Don't Wear Pink Sunglasses, and I swore up and down that I had another book in the Bailey School Kid series that didn't have the border. Could not remember it, so I stopped recording and looked at my bookshelf, and I couldn't find it. Turns out I had it in the shelf, or in the little haul video thing. This is Witches Don't Do Backflips. Another first edition, first printing. I don't think that I have this one like as the border. I could be wrong about that, but I actually just didn't know that I put this in this pile. Again, I might have posted this on Instagram too, but pretty cool. This is again a first edition, first printing. Yeah, first edition, first printing. I think the first couple of books in the series were like that, so really cool. I'm not gonna go after like every single one of these because I'm pretty sure that I saw the vampires don't wear pink polka dots, or don't wear polka dots, and I remember seeing that one at Second and Charles too. That was like this without the border. I didn't get it. They had like the weird little diamond things on there. But yeah, I didn't get that one either. So yeah, do look forward to reading this one as well. So another mention of Cameron Chaney here. He did a video on the Creeper series. You guys should, I highly recommend you going and check that out because it helped me out a lot, because I don't know much about this series, but I have been picking them up at Dollar Trees. Another book series that I have not read the first book in the series. But I have been looking around Dollar Generals to find the next like 4 books, and I could not find them anywhere in the town that my parents live in, around town, everywhere. I could not find them, but I did find them on vacation, a couple states away. So I did find the next 2 in the series. This is the Rag and Bone Man. I got that one, and I got the Wishing Well. So yeah, there is 2 more called the Rocking Chair and Soul Harvest, I believe is what it's called. And I have not found those yet, so I am looking forward to trying to find those down, track those down. But again, I really need to read these 2. Alright, the next couple of books I have here aren't anything to do with like thrift books or Goodwill. There is a guy that I follow on Instagram, or on Goodreads and Instagram now. He has written his own books, and I read one of his books last year, I believe, around Halloween time. So I do have a couple of books from him that he was kind enough to send, and I do plan on reading these. I'm thinking I'm gonna do them around Halloween, maybe, or at least start on them, or try some out. I have a ton of books that I really need to knock out. So yeah, I'll show these off real quick. This is The Creep by Jason Harlo. Really cool. I actually messaged him and told him that this one was going to be one that I really wanted to read soon. So yeah, he was very kind enough to send some of these books, so huge shout out to him. I do have the sequel to More Spooky Stories to Haunt Your Dreams. The last year I read the first one of these, and it was really good. I think the only complaint that I had about his books was I think he should have went like all out. Some of them kind of seemed like they're toned down, and I feel like he shouldn't have even toned them down. But what do I know? I mean, but it was really good, really fun. This one here is actually has an introduction by Cameron Chaney. This is called Very Special Episodes, a 90s Stranger Danger PSA anthology collected and edited by Jason Harlo. So these are like the don't drink and drive, whatever type of things you used to see as a kid, and they're just like stories based on them. I did see a couple of people review these, and they don't seem like they're like Goosebumps-ish or anything like that. They do seem like they are for adults. So I'm very excited to see this. This is actually from Dancing Griffin Press. I forgot to mention that. He does have an Instagram now. So yeah. And again, huge shout out to Jason Harlo for sending me those books. That was very awesome. The next couple of books, I think I got these off thrift books as well. And these are just something that I've seen that I just haven't picked up yet. And I now finally have them in my collection that I really wanted to read this. One of these, at least, I wanted to read this summer, but didn't make it to that. July's not over with yet, so we'll see. But I did get Shark Night by R.L. Stine. I heard that this one actually is pretty good. I had Stein Tinglers 4. Pretty cool. And I got A Nightmare on Nightmare Street, which I heard wasn't very good. Um, and I do want to point out that I actually went to um, Books a Million when this released, and they didn't have any of these or the Stine Tinglers 4 and Shark Night. I think none of those were found, so I actually had to go home and just order them. I do like to buy stuff from Books a Million whenever they have something that I need. Most of the time, there's nothing that they have that I don't have. So, but it is fun to go out and try to find them. So, again, haven't read any of these either. Really look forward to reading it. And now finally, we're at the books that I really couldn't wait to talk about. So we were driving, and my fiance were driving on the way home, I think, and she said, let's stop by a bookstore. Our plan was to go to Second and Charles. Traffic was terrible. We ended up not going to Second and Charles, so we turned around, and she said, just pick a bookstore. So there were like 1,000 where we're at. I mean, there was a ton of them, and I just picked one. It was called like Kathy's Half Price Books, and I was like, let's go here. And it was in Washington, I think, maybe. I could be wrong about that. So yeah, we stopped by. We're looking, and we pull up to this place, and the lights are out. And we go in, and I'm not thinking about anything, but where the books are at, all the way to the back, the lights are out. So, and there's a ton of books here. So I pull up my phone, I shine my light, and I'm like literally looking for books in the dark. And I know this sounds crazy, but this was one of the most fun experiences I've had. Yeah, it was really incredible. I actually did find stuff that I did not have. Nothing crazy. I always make jokes about going and finding. There's a book in the Spine Tingler series that I'm after called Lizard People, and I made a joke like, "Oh, Kathy's gonna have lizard people," or something along the lines of that, or we're gonna find lizard people here. But yeah, I did find some books. One of them I did have already, but for what I paid for everything, I did really good. So first up, I got Christopher Pike's The Last Story, or Remember Me 3, The Last Story. Very cool, this edition. And these books are in great condition too. Like yeah, they're really good. And I do have a copy of this one already, and I didn't know that. I knew that I had one of the sequels or some of the sequels. I might have had both, but for the price, this was $2. So I just went and bought a bunch of them. And oh yeah, they didn't really communicate really with us, which is fine. I'm not the best communicator either. But when we were in there looking, I asked, because I had like a stack of books, I was like, can I buy these like with card? And they're like, no, you have to have cash. So I just set the stack up there, and I just go and ask her how much, and it was like $20 for what I got. So went to the ATM, then came back and got it. Again, very fun. So yeah, it does have step back cover art. Very cool stuff. Again, I do have a copy of this book, so I'm going to look and see what it looks like. This is a first edition, first printing as well, I believe. I did look at that. I'm not sure about the other copy that I have, but yeah. First edition, first printing. Very cool. The next one I have is Remember Me 2. This is the one that I did not have, and I wasn't 100% sure about which ones I had. And the step back, the E on Christopher Pike is actually tore, but yeah, very cool step back cover art for that one too. This one here had this one here I looked up, and it actually went for a good amount of money on I like Googled it, and I think I found the only copy for like $40, which was crazy. So I added up everything that I would have gotten if I'd have bought these online, and I ended up with like almost $200, and I bought like all this for like 20. So pretty cool. And that's one that I did not have. I ended up getting a point horror book. This is The Fog by Carolyn B. Cooney, and I wasn't 100% sure if I had this either, because I see these floating around all the time online and I just never get them. This one does have a weird issue where the cover is actually shorter than the book, but again, $1.50, couldn't beat that. I got The Last Vampire by Christopher Pike. Again, very awesome edition. Not sure if this is first printing or anything like that. It is first edition, first printing. Oops. So cool. And the next two books, I believe, are some that I've actually seen floating around, and I've never read them. And I looked up the prices on them, and from what I could tell, they actually go for a good bit of money. And so for like $1, $2, I couldn't beat it. So I actually picked those up too. These are the first two that I found. Well, I got the other one after the next one, but I found a Zodiac Chillers book. This is In Leo's Lair. So pretty cool stuff. Again, $2 for this, and the edition, the condition is very cool. I got another Caroline B. Cooney book. This is The Vampire's Promise. So pretty cool. And the other Zodiac Chillers book was The Scorpio's Society. One of these, I think, went for a good bit of money, and again, this was $2 as well. So I got The Last Vampire 5, Evil Thirst, from Christopher Pike. And I got The Last Vampire 6, Creatures of Forever. And last but not least, I actually got The Last Vampire 4, Phantom. So, pretty cool. And that's it. Again, I think I have all of these vampire books from Christopher Pike now, so eventually I can start reading those. I will point out, too, that I didn't like the Remember Me book that I read a couple years ago. I read it 3 or 4 years ago, and I think I gave it like 2 stars. It was terrible, but I am happy to have the next couple in the series. I think there's only 3, if I remember right. I'm not sure how many vampire books there are by Pike, but yeah. Again, found these in the dark with a flashlight. One of the more fun experiences I've ever had trying to find books. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. I was on vacation for a while. I will be trying to do some more reviews here soon. I'm still reading Welcome to Camp Nightmare, and I'm still reading... No, I just finished another book that I'll be doing a review for, God willing, pretty soon. So, yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.